Welcome back to another devlog. This is part 3 of my journey to make the best horror survival game on Roblox. Well, at least the good one. I have multiple updates to share, but before I get to them, I just want to say, if you find this game interesting and you would like to help with it, please stay to the end of the video for a special message. Now, let's get into the devlog. After publishing Devlog 2, I realized that the game sucks.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So I deleted everything and restarted. Well, that's a joke, but I did redo a lot. One of the bigger updates is the star of the game. Previously, when the player first joined the game, they are greeted with this loading screen. The problem with the loading screen is that it took forever to load, sometimes taking multiple minutes before the player even sees the menu. So I deleted it. I also deleted the menu shown in Devlog 2 and replaced it with this. This new menu not only replaces the old menu, but it also replaces the loading screen by loading the game in the background while the player is picking their ability. The new menu works basically the same as the old one, with the ability selector, player list, and raid system, but it's in 3D space. While we're talking about menus, I showed in my last devlog an in-game menu, but at the time it wasn't compatible with the rest of the game. But now it is, with some improvements. With the new version, there are 4 tabs: an objectives tab, where the player is told what to do and what has been done, a player tab, so you can check on your friends and see their health and ability, a settings tab to change settings, such as the camera effect, view bobbing, motion blur, and some other stuff, and a chat system, which I'll go into more detail about. If you've played Roblox recently, you'll know about the chat update. Regardless of what you think about it, it basically ruins my game, as communication is a big part of it. So that's why I made my own chat system. It might break Roblox TOS, but the default chat doesn't fit my game, and I don't think there's a way to attach it to a 3D object. Now, let's move on to some gameplay. First, I'm going to quick run through the less important things before I get to the major updates. 1. I updated the proximity prompts. I made a video showcasing this, but in short, I saw a video by a YouTuber named Jam2Go. He made something similar in Unreal Engine, and I thought it would fit my game perfectly. It's supposed to look like those CCTV videos with object recognition, and seeing as this game is supposed to look like recorded footage, I thought it would fit well. 2. Doors now open and close. When I first bought the map, the doors didn't move at all, so you just walk through them. But now, they actually open, and you don't have to break the laws of physics to get past them. 3. I added sounds to different objects to improve the immersion. I will now shut up so you can hear them. While playtesting this game with my friends, we lost each other multiple times. So now, the player can whistle to show the other players where they are, similar to the game 3008 by Ugly Burger. 5. I added reviving, so if one of your friends dies, you can bring them back to life. Well, that is if you have friends. 6. And lastly, I added a weapon UI, so that the player can see how much ammo they have left. I don't want a lot of UI on the screen, but my friend said it was hard to know how much ammo was left, so I compromised and made what you see now. I tried to keep it as simple as possible with only white lines and boxes. The lines represent how many bullets are left in the gun, and the boxes represent how many mags are left in the player's inventory. Now, time to get to the main gameplay updates. Yay! First, let's talk about the objectives. The generator has been mostly reworked. Now, instead of connecting wires, the task is to plug the correct fuse into the correct fuse box as shown on screen. The computer mostly works the same as before, but now it's in a UI. I don't really like that it's a UI, but the generator is a UI, and it was just easier for me to code. I can't remember if I talked about the radio towers before in Devlog 2, but if not, here's how it works. On the top there are 5 lights, and in the middle there are 5 switches. The goal is to get all the lights green by clicking the switches, which are randomly assigned lights. The radio tower is also a UI, for the same reasons the computer is. Moving on, let's talk about the enemies. In Devlog 2, I showed a monster that hides from the player when they look at it. I had some cool ideas for that, but unfortunately, I decided to change it. I made 3 different enemies, which spawn at random. I made a ghost, stalker, and rusher. The ghost spawns in the air and flies towards the player. The stalker follows the player and stops when looked at. And, I'm sure you can guess, the rusher runs towards the player and attacks them. After making these, I realized they didn't really fit the story of the game. While thinking of a better solution, I was reminded of the game I played called Hunting Season. I believe the game is private now, but the idea is that the players have 5 minutes to grab supplies, and when those 5 minutes are up, a really tough monster spawns, and the players have to fight it off. I wanted to do something similar in my game without stealing it completely, so I made this. The monster doesn't look that good, and I'll probably remake it later, but the idea is mostly the same as Hunting Season. The monster spawns based on how many players there are and how many objectives are completed, so that as the players progress, the game gets harder. When the monster spawns, it has 3 different attacks. It has a ground slam that sends a shockwave that damages the player, a freezing breath which slows the player and deals damage, and lastly a grapple attack that levitates the closest player and brings it towards the enemy and deals damage to the player. The players can't kill the monster, but they can deter it by shooting it. I mentioned before NPCs in the game. As of now, there isn't any gameplay related updates, but I've been working on a lot of world building, which I won't show here as I want the players to find it as they play the game. Now, to enough the devlog part of this video, I'll talk about the end of the game. When all objectives are completed, the sun rises and the players radio the company who sent them to escape the monster. A helicopter lands, and once all the players get on the helicopter, it takes off and the screen fades to black. I wrote a short message for winning the game, which again I won't show here as you need to win the game to read it. If all the players die, they lose the game. As of now, I haven't added this to the game, but it will be similar to winning the game with a short message to the player. Well, that concludes the devlog part of this video. Now for the special message for those who stuck around. Hopefully, in the coming months, I'll release one more devlog, and then the game will go into its playtesting phase. So, if you're interested in this game and want to be a part of the journey, I'm going to need playtesters. If that is something you would be interested in, I made a Discord server which you can join by clicking the link in the description below. The Discord is made for more than just playtesters, so even if you just want to be a part of the community, feel free to join. It's a great place to hang out, give suggestions for the game, get help if you're a game developer, or, as I just said, become a playtester. Eventually, if the server gets big enough, I would love to host different events like game jams. Again, if you're interested, please join. Well, that's it for this video. If you've enjoyed, please consider subscribing and liking the video. I hope you have a great rest of your day. See you in the next one. Peace.